Man, Seattle Seahawks, things are looking so good on a bye, getting healthy. Team looks good. If you're new to the channel, we make videos for teams that don't get the love nationally like they should. We're Detroit Lions fans, so we've run into you guys. We see it, man. Really good team. And why we say that they don't get the love nationally is because it seems like 49ers. Everyone's talking about them, rightfully so. They're going to win the division. Everyone's just kind of forgetting about the Seahawks. If you look at the top teams in the NFC, everyone's talking about the Lions, the 49ers, and the Eagles. People aren't talking about the Seahawks. I know they were on a bye this week, so that maybe that's some of it, but they just keep getting really good news. And overarching news that I want to talk about that's so good is so incredible, because if we just remember from an outsider's perspective, you're a Seahawks fan, you're so good there in 2012, 13, 14, 15, the kind of that period of time, life's good. And then things get a little weird with Russell Wilson. And he's just, from the outside, again, the whole time, he's weird. He's a weird dude. He's odd. Something's off, but you're winning. Winning cures all. Things are good. And then you kind of stop winning, or, it's not, Legion of Boom's gone. Marshawn's leaving. So it's kind of like, what's going on? And so you make the beautiful right decision to get rid of Russell Wilson, which, by the way, if you just got rid of him and didn't get anything in return, it would be a good deal, which is incredible, just because he's not playing well. He's a distraction. He's cringeworthy. It's like, oh my gosh. So let's just take a look at some of the things that are happening with Russell Wilson and why this is just, you just got to be so happy as a Seahawks fan. You're doing good, and you're using all the stuff, that all the capital and all the return that you got by the trade in such great ways, and you're seeing him implode. You don't wish for that to happen, but it's like, oh my gosh, we got so lucky, fortunate to get out from underneath Russell Wilson, because it just isn't working. So here's the deal. Seahawks continue to reap rewards from the Russell Wilson trade, and this is just awesome. So they lose to the New York Jets, and it was just ugly. Sean Payton's like yelling at him, just looking at him with a scowl of like, what are you doing? I mean, I don't know what you're doing. So in the midst of his second season and a dreadful 2022 campaign with Nathaniel Hackett, and then, Sean Payton's like, yeah, Hackett's terrible. He's a terrible coach. Watch what I do with Russell Wilson. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Oh, nose hair. Okay. On top of that, and Peyton looked to be at constant odds, where the coach wants the quarterback to to stop kissing babies, wear a wristband to help relay plastic, or simply avoid killer turnovers such as disastrous fumble. On the opposite side of the spectrum, here we go. While everything seems to be crumbling around Wilson and his new surroundings for a second straight season, the Seahawks continue to enjoy the benefits of training the franchise quarterback for a boatload of picks 2 years ago, and off to a 3-1 start. And the Lions are really good, and you came in to Ford Field and beat the Lions. That's all I needed to see to be like, yep, Seahawks are going to be good. Now you got 2 games against the 49ers still left to go, so we'll really find out, but the Seahawks are good. So what you've been able to do is build a exciting young foundation in the NFL on the backbone of the picks acquired in the blockbuster deal. Boom. We can pause right there. You've set your franchise up so well you can have the picks, but just like the Lions are doing, you got to capitalize on these picks and hit them. And it's just so abundantly clear that the best franchises in the league draft well. That's just it. You got to draft well, and you got to build through the draft. So Charles Cross is coming back. You got Mafe. You got Devin Witherspoon. I mean, hello. Witherspoon's just so good. And let me know in the comments, Seattle Seahawks fans, who is your favorite draft pick over these last couple of years that you just like? I love Devin Witherspoon. Up here in Michigan, he's a Big Ten guy.
I'm just here to scare you. I love Devin Witherspoon too.
Hey. I'm talking about Witherspoon being so good, and for the Seahawks, and how the Seahawks have been able to take all of these draft picks and that they got from Russell Wilson, who's turning out to be a train wreck, who Sean Payton said, oh, Nathaniel Hackett is the problem. Watch me come in and really rescue Russell, but really Russell's weird. The whole thing is a train wreck, and now you're getting Devin Witherspoon. You're getting all these guys that are so good on top of getting rid of Russell Wilson.
That's right. That's right. And we wanted Devin Witherspoon. Remember that? The Lions this year? I think that was our pick at number 6, but you took him. You took him from us, Seattle, which is fantastic. Good for you. And he's a solid player. He's got an edge to him. You know what I mean? Like he kind of plays angry, which is kind of fun to watch. But it's just more things looking up in Seattle. You got to love it. Sorry, I just wanted to pop in this video. I didn't even know what you were talking about.
No, so. Because I was saying that not only does the Seahawks have a really good team, but they get overlooked because of San Francisco being in their division. And hey, they haven't played San Francisco yet. San Francisco might crush these guys, but they may not. And the fact that they came in
probably not, I would say, but
they came into Detroit on the most hostile environments to date, with a really good Detroit team, and was able to win that game. That showed me everything I needed to see, that this is a top team in the NFC.
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. And they're winners of 4 in a row, right? And I'm not saying, or is it?
They had a bye. They're 3-1.
Yep. Sorry. 3 in a row. My bad. So, week 1 crapshoot, right? Like that's what we found out about week 1, is that actually didn't determine anything. And then they beat the Lions, and they get 2 pretty easy victories. But I'm telling you right now, if they go into Cincinnati and get a victory this week, like now all of a sudden you're like, okay, like, are they for real? And then, I think it's favorable, a decent schedule after that. They play the Niners not until late November and early December. A lot can change between now and then. A lot can change.
And I think they really get up, the Niners really get up for the Seattle Seahawks, like the Niners really get up for the Cowboys. But I think they really get up for the Cowboys, and the Cowboys had no chance. But I think this is going to be a better game, and they both get a home and an away game
of course,
with them. So you don't know. So if you're a Seahawks fan, you've built the foundation for a long time to come. But my point in this video was, even if you gave Russell Wilson away for nothing at this point, you get rid of a headache. He's had some weird interviews. Marshawn Lynch had some interviews talking about how Russell Wilson was just generally weird. And it was just like, man, you've got away from his headache of a guy.
Nothing better than your ability to call people weird. I love it.
You've got Geno Smith in there, who's settled the franchise down, doesn't make mistakes. Guys like him. There's a human aspect to football that we just kind of forget about in the locker room. And guys want to play hard and play well for a guy like Geno.
Absolutely. And if I were to tell you right now, you get one quarterback, Geno Smith or Russell Wilson, who are you taking?
Yeah, Geno.
You're taking Geno. I'm taking Geno. Like, there's no doubt about that, especially Geno in that offense. But the last year of Russell Wilson in that offense wasn't fantastic, if I recall correctly. It wasn't fantastic. And the first year of Geno was. And that just tells me that maybe Russell started to lose it a little bit. He lost that edge.
Yeah, and I think that's what I was saying is, like, you have this winning cures all. So they were winning, Legion of Boom. Life was good with Russell. And you're just like, whatever. The guy has weird, corny interviews, but we're winning. So, he can say that stuff when you're winning, how he ends every interview. So there's a lot of things that he did that you just, whatever. But now it's like, it was time to move off. So the fact that he moved off and got a boatload of picks to really just build that foundation, the Seahawks are going to be good for, I don't know, quite a while.
Yeah, they're good. And there's a ton of talent. And I think we're starting to learn that it might be more the team and the scheme than the quarterback himself. So
absolutely,
I think they can be good for a while, for sure. There's no doubt about that.
Well, let us know your thoughts in the comments, and
do it.
We'll see all of you guys on the next one.
See you.